Hello everyone. I, Ms. Bhavna Danesh Munod, welcome you all in Agricultural Development Trust, Shardabai Pawar, Mahila Arts, Commerce and Science College, Sharda Nagar, Baramati. Good day everyone. Last period we studied regarding our first chapter for 12th standard in economics, that is Introduction to Micro and Macroeconomics children. Now we come to our next chapter in economics, that is Foreign Trade of India. As we all are familiar, we studied in Organization of Commerce and Management in 11th regarding trade. It was internal trade and international trade also, external trade also. Then related to trade, we studied some various terms that were import, export and entry port children. So these terms like import, export and entry port are familiar to you from 10th standard only. Import is what we take things from other country or we send to other country. Export is what we do children in export. Import is children what we take or say what we take goods from other countries, and export is which we send goods and services to other countries, and entry port is from one country the goods and services are sent to another country. So these three terms, that is import, export and entry port, are familiar to you. Now let us see what is there in this chapter, that we start from definition of trade. See, over here what we will see first, that is definition of trade. So what is trade? We all know trade means what? Transportation of goods and services from one country to another country. But what is that? So here the trade has been defined as branch of commerce which deals with exchange of goods and services in terms of money between different persons known as traders. So what is trade defined over here? The goods and services which we exchange but in terms of money. So it will be between different persons, that different persons are called as traders. Now definition of internal trade also has been given over here. See, definition of internal trade, what it tells us, that it refers to buying and selling of goods and services within the geographical boundaries of a country. That means what children? Internal trade is what? As we have studied, internal trade, that goods and services within the boundaries of our country. Suppose our country is India. So within our India, so it is from say Pune to Mumbai, Mumbai to Nasik, Nasik to Nagpur. So within the boundaries, we are not going beyond the boundaries. So within the boundaries, whatever goods is transported from one place to other, that is called as internal trade. So that internal trade is also called, another word in economics it is given as home trade or domestic trade. So what are these advantages of internal trade? That there are no problems related to tariffs and exchange rates. See, in internal trade, there is no problem related to what? Tariffs and exchange rate. And shipping cost may not be there at all or may be very low. See, just a little bit short information regarding internal trade. What I told you, that internal trade means within the countries. It is beyond the boundaries, means inside the boundaries. Whatever geographical locations it is boundaries nearby. It is also called, that is internal trade is also called as home trade or domestic trade. Then they have also told regarding advantages. What are the advantages of internal trade? That there is no taxation. Tariffs and exchange rates means what? Transportation cost is not so much or it is very less. Whatever shipping cost is also then it is very less children. Why? Because this is happening where? In internal trade. Now see, the previous slide we studied about definition of trade and internal trade. Now come to the next slide children. You can see about what is there? Foreign trade. Now foreign trade, what we'll see, what is foreign trade? So exchange and goods and services between the countries. See, internal trade was in the boundaries, geographical location means within that country. Then foreign trade, what they have told? The goods and services which are exchanged between the countries that is from India to, say, America, foreign countries, or India to Australia. So this type of exchange of goods and services is called as foreign trade. Here there will be difference between producer and consumer because this both the countries are separate. See, from India the producer will be different, from foreign country the consumer will be different. All the countries are having different producers and consumers. So whether we do import or export, that depends upon. So that is called as foreign trade, means between the two countries where producer and consumer will be different. That is called as what? Foreign trade, children. Now, history of foreign trade, just for basic knowledge I gave you, children, that what history of foreign trade tells us in India. We will see one by one. So, what it tells, that import control was introduced in the year 1940. See, in India we are studying about that import control was introduced in 1940. Then in 1946, the Emergency Provisions Ordinance was promulgated to continue the import trade control. Means what? In that particular year 1946, emergency related to import and export, that rule came into India, that is import trade control should be there. It was promulgated, means what? From that the process came in the year 1946. Why it came? To control import, to control that import trade. So emergency services were there that time. Then the next point related to history of foreign trade in India is what? Import and Export Control Act came into force with the effect from 25th March 1947. Keep in mind, this is for your basic knowledge, children. What? That is from 25th March 1947, Import and Export Act came into existence in India. And the last one is, finally the Import and Export Control Act was replaced by the Foreign Trade, children. That is Development and Regulation Act in the year 1992. Means the same act was there. That is having control and import and export. That's why the act was made. Which act? That is Import and Export Control Act. So that Import and Export Control Act in the year 1992, the name was replaced as Development and Regulation Act, children. So these are what, just for your basic knowledge related to what, children? History of foreign trade in India. Now we'll come to next, that is what is free trade, children. See, we are studying about what? Free trade. So free trade, just let me see. Free trade. Now we studied about what? Internal trade, then foreign trade. Now what is free trade? Just we'll have a glance on this. That free trade definition over here is given: a type of trade policy that allows traders to act and transact without coercive interference from government. See, what free trade is, children? The definition is that a type of trade policy that allows traders to act and transact without coercive interference from government. Means any coercive, the word has been put, means what? In simple way, that whatever trade is there, whatever trade policies, that is import and export of goods and services are there, in that government interference is not there. No government tax tariffs, no act and transactions of government is there. That type of trade policy, in short, means free trade of goods and services, where you don't have to pay tax and government interference is not there at all. So free trade means no taxes on manufacturing goods and no tariffs paid when goods cross a border. See, a little bit picture I have shown in the slide regarding import, export is there, and what we know, that is free trade means no taxes by the government, no manufacturing taxes, no goods and services, no taxes, no tariffs paid on goods and services when we cross the border. Means what? When we are sending goods to other country. So that type of trade is called as free trade. What is international trade then? Internal we saw. Internal means geographically location within the boundaries. Now international means what? We are crossing the boundaries. So the exchange of goods or services along international borders. This type is called as international trade, children. That is international. We are crossing the boundaries. So when we cross the boundaries, that is called as international trade, children. So the concepts like trade, in that we have studied what? Trade, children. What we studied? That is free trade, internal trade, foreign trade and international trade. Now come to our next topic in this chapter, that is types of trade. Now see, you can see the diagram over here, children. Okay. What the diagrams tells us regarding trade? Okay, children. What it tells us regarding trade? First we'll study to diagram only. So this trade is divided into two types, if you can see in the diagram. What is the home trade and the other one is, children, foreign trade. Okay. So that trade is divided into how many? Main two types, that is home trade and the foreign trade. Now that home trade, as we have studied, it is called as internal trade. Okay, so that internal trade is again divided into what, children? Wholesale trade and retail trade. And the foreign trade is divided into import, export and entry port trade, children. Okay, see, I am clearing the concept again. What I told you, trade is there. The trade is divided into two main types. What we are studying the question, types of trade. So in that trade, first we'll study the diagram. I'll explain you the diagram so you can understand the whole concept. That trade is divided into what? Home trade and foreign trade. Then home trade, that is also called as internal trade, which is again subdivided into, children, wholesale trade and retail trade. Then foreign trade is divided into import, export and entry port trade. So in short, we studied, even we explained. Now what is this, what we are studying now, children? That we are studying about types of trade. In that we have seen trade, the trade, internal trade. Now starting of the slide only we studied internal trade is also called as what? Home trade. That home trade is what? Within the boundaries. Then within the boundaries we are what? Exchanging goods and services. Then that home trade is again divided or subdivided into what? Wholesale trade and retail trade. Wholesale trade means what? Goods and services purchased in a larger quantity, bulk quantity. And retail services means what? Or retail trade means what? Small, a little bit amount is just sold to the consumer. Wholesale trade means what? Purchasing goods and services in a bulk quantity. Then the wholesaler supplies to the retailer, and then the retail trade is what? It is giving to the consumer in a small quantity, say 1 pen, 2 pens, 3 pens, not in a bulk quantity. That is called as wholesale and retail trade. Then foreign trade also we studied. What is foreign trade? That means from one country to other country, that is at international level. That also we studied the definition of foreign trade. That means from one country to another country, that is international, means international boundaries. We are crossing the boundaries and then we are what? Doing transportation of goods and services. So import refers to what? Purchasing of good country by one country from other country, or say inflow of goods and services from home country to home country, from foreign country to home country. Means in short, I will tell you example. That is, if I want something from India and that thing, that particular product is in Japan or say in other country, any country you take. So from that country I borrow that product, that is called as import. Then export trade refers to what? Goods, sale of goods by one country to another country. That is from one country to foreign country. Suppose now I am in India, say for example mangoes. In India mangoes are more famous. So I am exporting mangoes to foreign country. That means I am sending mangoes to foreign country. Goods and services, I am sending that. That is called as export trade. And entry port trade means what? We are repeating again. These terms already we have studied. Entry port means from one country the goods and services are purchased and it is sold to other country. And then again it is sold to other country. Now for example, see, if we have studied and you remember what we studied, see, raw material purchased from India. Then the raw material purchasing from India. Who is purchasing? Japan. Then Japan is manufacturing, that is producing taking raw material from India, manufacturing, producing the finishing product, and then selling to UK. That is called as entry port. Taking from one country, selling to other country. In simple example, I will tell you, that is called as entry port trade. So entry port trade is also, they have other word meaning over here, say re-export. So it refers to purchase of goods from one country and then selling them to another country. So this is what types of trade, children. Okay, so from the following diagram only, if you can study, you can write on your own. That is trade. Trade is divided into two types, home trade, foreign trade. That home trade is also called as internal trade, keep in mind. Then internal trade is divided, again subdivided into two parts, wholesale trade and retail trade. Wholesale trade means what? Goods are purchased in a bulk. Retail trade means goods are sold at a smaller quantity, lesser quantity. Then foreign trade is again divided or subdivided into three types, that is import trade, export trade and entry port trade, children. Then import trade, as we have studied, what is import trade? Goods, we are borrowing goods from other country, then selling goods to other country, export, and entry port means from one country to other country the goods and services are transferred. Okay. Now we'll come to our next point. See, what is the role of foreign trade? We'll see one by one, children. Now we studied, how much we studied in this by the time? We'll recollect again. What is there? We studied from starting internal trade, foreign trade, international trade, then history of foreign trade in India, then types of trade. These all points we covered. Now we are coming to our next point, that is role of foreign trade. So one by one we will go for the point so that you can understand more properly, children. Now see, the first role of foreign trade, the first point is to earn foreign exchange, children. First point, to earn what? Foreign exchange. So we'll see our first point, that is foreign trade provides foreign exchange which can be used for productive purposes, and foreign trade is remarkable factor in expanding the marketing and encouraging the production of goods. Now see what they have told. Now what we are studying, children, that is role of foreign trade. What foreign trade, how it plays an important role. So the first point we are studying, that is first one is to earn foreign exchange. Now earn foreign exchange means what, children? If trading is there, we have started a trading business, it is compulsory that if we have foreign trade, or it is more convenient, say for the producer, more benefited, more profitable if foreign countries demand for a product. Any producer, any manufacturer will be happy if import and export business is started and the foreign countries are interested in his product. Why? What will happen when the products are exported? Foreign trade, that means the foreign currency will come in India, and due to this foreign currency, economically the country will improve, as well as whatever the organization or whatever the company will be there, he will also rise economically. Financially he will grow up. So they have told to earn foreign exchange. So that is first role, that foreign trade, it becomes a remarkable factor. Why it becomes a remarkable factor? Because of foreign trade we can expand the market. Who can expand? The company, the particular company who is doing import and export business. So that can expand the marketing and encourage the production of goods. Now come to the second point. Our second point is what? Encourages investment. Now see, when foreign trade comes inside, it is creating opportunity to producers. Producers become more interested if the company is in profit. So beyond the domestic market, you're selling goods where? To foreign countries. So when foreign investment is there, it encourages them to produce more goods for exports. So this leads to an increase in total investment in an economy. So the second point is encourages investment. So see, the role of foreign trade, first one is what? To earn foreign exchange. Then the second one is what? Encourages investment. Now whose investment will be encouraged? Producers. Why producers? Manufacturers investment will be encouraged, because when foreign currency, as I gave you example, comes inside the market, the value of that particular company increases economically, financially, they become strong in domestic market, people recognize them. So it encourages them to produce more goods and services. The producer gets profit. If their goods are more demanded in market, they will be more encouraged, more motivated to produce goods for export, children. And due to this, total investment of the economy also increases. So the second role is what? Encourages investment. Now we'll come to see the third one, that is the third role of foreign trade, that is division of labor and specialization. Now see, due to foreign trade, what we have seen, economically the country will also have progress. The producers are motivated to produce more and more goods as they are exporting the production of goods and services. Now the third one is what? Division of labor and specialization. See, when we are exporting particular product, so according to that thing, we will divide the labor. We'll make the labor divide according to their skills, their talents, and we will have specialization. We will use modern techniques for more production, having quality products. So this is division of labor and specialization. Means what? When we start foreign trade, what we do, or say what a producer or manufacturer do, that they divide the labor and specialization at world level. So some countries, what they have abundant, they are rich in natural resources. So what they do, they export raw material and import finished goods from other countries, so which advance in skilled manpower. Thus foreign trades gives benefits to all countries, thereby leading to division of labor and specialization. Now what I read over here regarding division of labor and specialization, that some countries are very rich in natural resources. So what they do, one country purchases raw materials and give to other country, like we have studied in entry port. That country will finish with that using that raw material, using that resources, will make finished goods and then sell back to the other country. So this is called as division of labor and specialization. Simple example I will tell you now. Now say our country India is very famous for spices and pickles. Okay, very famous for spices and pickles. So what we do? We export those spices and pickles. Yes or no? Now take an example. Say our raw material or our natural resources, we are rich in this spices, Indian spices. So foreign country, any one of the foreign country will ask for resources. That is raw material, what? Indian spices. Okay. Say from India we send it to foreign country, any country. Then that particular country will use our spices and make a finished product. Any packed product they will make. They will make any type of ingredient in packed food. And then they will sell it to other country, children. Like suppose say, imagine that these spices are used by sent by India, then it is sent to say UK. Then what UK will do? UK has taken resources from India, raw material. So then that UK will make what? Pickles from that particular resources, make a packed bottle, and then it will sell to other country. That means what they have done? They have collected rich resources. One country has collected rich resources, had made the finishing product and sold to other country. So it will, just an example I gave of spices and pickles, it will be many other products, many others. Say furnitures will be there, wood will be used, anything. Any other products will be used, and then the finished product will be done by other country and sold to other country. In this way, what has happened? That labor has been divided, and which country's specialty or say specialized in any of their skills, how to use resources properly, that country will use their skills, manpower, and make finished products. Or then what they have to do, either they will export or import. So it will be related to foreign trade, that is division of labor and specialization of the countries which are good in which resources, say finished products, say. So all this division of labor and specialization. Now say suppose for example, now recently from India we borrowed from, I think so, Airways. We borrowed, I think so, what we have done, we imported Airways. from other countries. Why we imported? Because that particular country was very good in manufacturing that particular finished product, aeroplane for example, I am telling, where India was lacking in that technique. So what India did, it imported. Why it imported from foreign country? Raw materials, but must have been taken raw materials from our country, say resources, any other thing we have been exported. But the thing is, that particular country, say Germany or France, is very good in making ammunitions, in making aeroplanes, in making weapons. So from that particular country we borrowed that, or say we imported that particular, we purchased from them. That is called as division. Means that particular country, any country, say France, Germany, are very good, their specialization skills are there, and India is giving them raw material, and then afterwards India purchase from them finished goods. That is called as division of labor and specialization, children. So this is what we studied related to role of foreign trade. Now first 3 points, what was there? To earn foreign exchange, encourages investment, and the third one was what, children? Division of labor and specialization. Now the remaining points we will study in next period, children. Thank you.